Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, UtahLowRate.com. Wanted to go over what's going on in the market and are we going to see a housing crash in 2023 or 2024? I don't think so. All the experts agree. All the information is pointing towards the market going up, the value starting to increase. So let's get into it. So with our current market right now, we're actually in a gridlock market, not a housing crash. And we will compare the two markets from 2008 to 2023 in our current market. And let's go over all the facts and kind of see what everything's pointing towards. So the first reason why we're not in a housing crash, the home inventory in 2008, 2007 to 2008, we actually had a 10-month supply of homes, which means we had more homes available for sale than we had buyers in the market, okay? Compare that to our current market, 2023, we actually only have about a 2.5-month supply. So when you compare those two markets, you've got a big difference between 10-month supply and 2.5-month supply, which means there's a shortage of listings for sale. So that means there's a shortage of homes for as many buyers as we have looking to buy homes or in the market to buy homes, okay? Which puts the sellers in a really good position, because this is going to cause multiple offer situations like we saw the past 3 years in the market, to where you had multiple people, anywhere from 10 to 25 offers on every house or almost every other house. And it was turning into a competitive situation to where people were paying over ask, sometimes $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. And in some situations on bigger homes, you were seeing people pay $100,000 over ask price and coming in with that extra cash to close on these homes, which created a competitive market. So a lot of this was going on during COVID, and it really sparked values to jump, okay? So let's get into reason number two. So back in 2008, 2009, home values were dropping anywhere from 20 to 30 and sometimes 40% in some markets, depending on home prices and what range of home people were looking at. So 20% of all those loans that were given in that time, back in 2008, 2009, were adjustable rate subprime mortgages, which meant they were going to adjust anywhere from 2 to 3 years after they were written. And a lot of these people that were getting these subprime loans couldn't qualify for a traditional loan. So when these loans came to where they were going to adjust, and they could adjust anywhere from 1 to 2% a year, a lot of these people could not refinance these homes. And with the home prices plummeting, people were just walking away from properties because a lot of these people didn't have to put down payment, or they had a small down payment if they had to do one. But most products that were available back then, you didn't have to do a down payment. You could do 100% financing. You could own multiple properties. So a lot of these people were walking away from these properties. So these were some of the major reasons: the 10-month supply, the subprime mortgages, the adjustable rate mortgages, and the people that were utilizing stated income, that had no reserves, that had no down payment down. It was easy for them to walk away from these houses. And so you saw that, foreclosure rate really rise super high at that time, because you had so many people that didn't qualify for all these houses, and they didn't traditionally qualify with a regular loan. So that led to the market, a really soft market, and people were not able to sustain that, okay? So let's get into reason number three, okay? Home buyers now have more equity in their homes than in any past markets over a few decades, okay? And with the super low interest rates we were seeing, there's no urgency for homeowners to do anything, which leaves more choices. Even if somebody loses their job, they can usually go out and find another job, or they can sell that property because they have so much equity that they can take that equity and live off that equity until they actually get another job, or they decide to buy another house because they've still got maybe $100,000, $200,000 in equity. So people are not walking away from houses like they were back in 2008, 2009, which leads to a stronger economy, a stronger market. You're not seeing as many foreclosures. Foreclosures are way down from the last 10 to 15 years. If you look at the charts and maps, you're not seeing as many foreclosures. Not to mention during COVID, they put a lot of programs into place where they were pausing mortgage payments for a year, 2 years. A lot of lenders were on board with this. This came down from Washington. So you could really get by even if job rates were low and the unemployment rate was super high in the last 2 or 3 years. You could still keep that. You could still make that mortgage payment and not have to make that mortgage payment for a year or two and get away with doing that if you were unemployed or you had other circumstances where you couldn't make that mortgage payment. So there was a lot of stuff to slow down that foreclosure rate. So we'll show you in the chart here in a minute and explain that to you as well. So where are we now? Home prices started to fall July of 2022 until January of 2023. Home prices have started to rise and stabilize since February of 2023. And then Andy Walden of Black Knight stated just 5 months ago, prices were declining month after month in 92% of all U.S. markets. Fast forward that to 2023, and the situation is down 180, with prices rising in 92% of the markets starting in February of 2023. So where are we headed? Well, CoreLogic is forecasting home prices going up another 3.7% in 2024. Zillow actually has a forecast out, and it's saying values will grow about 3.9%. They are kind of a big player online with listings and the market, so they do have a lot of data to kind of make their estimations on. So not to mention current inflation numbers dropping month after month. All the experts are estimating, there's over 100 experts estimating that rates will slowly start dropping in the next couple of months, which will just strengthen the mortgage market and the housing market. And this will also cause house prices to go up as well. And we're going to have rates starting to dip down as well because inflation's starting to drop. We're expecting in the next 2 to 3 months, inflation should be dropping anywhere from 3.5 to 3.7%. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions on the market, you have any questions on getting pre-approved, you want to find out what options there are on the market, you want to just see what you can do, see if we can get you a loan. Reach out to us anytime, UtahLowRate.com. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button.